I'm Ray Rickman. I'm an adopted son of Providence, and I can be methodical sometimes, a little bit mechanical. Exactly 40 years ago today, I arrived in Providence, never been here before. I was looking at 6 cities, some place to move to. About 2 weeks earlier in Detroit, a drug addict walked up to me on the campus of Wayne State University and stabbed me in the arm. Blood went every place. Big problem because the Wayne State University police beat him badly. I'm bleeding. I'm telling them to quit big liberal Ray, quit beating the guy, quit beating the guy. And what a mess. But during that 7 or 8 minute episode, I promised it was time to leave Detroit. It was time. Violent. Possibly that year the most violent place in America. So I decided, I want to go to a place with a great college. I want to go to a place with historic buildings. I want, and I want there to be a black population of some kind. So up I go to Dartmouth, to Hanover, New Hampshire. Ha ha ha. 3 black college professors, I think. I may be exaggerating. And a black janitor at the school. Remember, this is 40 years ago. Those schools, Ivy Leagues, were barely integrated. So I don't believe I saw a single black student on the street, though there were some. And then I went to Princeton. I could be in the shadow of New York. All of this is about never living in a city again, at least not a big one, certainly not a Detroit. And the very last place I came was Providence. Providence. I checked. The murder rate was 12 people the year before. The black population was 12%. And it had a historic Benefit Street and beyond. Total excitement. And I showed up here. It had 7 skyscrapers, and then another 4 or 5 buildings. You could call them skyscrapers if you were not well educated, because a skyscraper is supposed to be 13 stories high, though we know there are some 7 or 8, 9-story buildings that fit that description. And so I moved here, got an interesting job, lived 2 houses from the Brown family. They lived on Benefit, I lived on Williams. It was like really fabulous. I lived in a house built in 1825. And then I watched people being opposed to Citizens Bank building, new tower for the city, and they were opposed. And then every 3 years, developer comes along and they want to do something, and 200 of the same people come out and say, that's too tall, that's too ugly, whatever they say. And it's always the same. They're anti-growth. And they don't even know they're anti-growth. They're really design people. I love it. I like Bauhaus, I like Shaker style, I like Queen Anne, I like Victorian, I like Federal, I like Colonial, on and on and on. That brutalist stuff I don't like. But other than that, almost every form of architecture, if done well, how you cannot like Victorian, I don't know. So they're all experts on architecture, and they're also opposed to tall buildings. A tall building's 8 stories tall in their mind. So this fabulous new private dorm, basically, built on Canal Street near Roger Williams Park, was opposed for 7 years. And I tell everybody, that's my test. Go look at that building. A couple blocks up from Washington, Waterman, a block up from First Baptist Church in America, on Canal, near the river, next door to Citizens Bank. Go look at it. It's stunning. Stunning. And they fought it. They fight everything that's more than 2 stories tall. And we're losing those tax dollars. We're losing those construction dollars. We're losing the jobs, permanent jobs, and most of those buildings only have 3, 4 permanent jobs, but we're losing them all. And of course, here at GoLocal, I look out the window at 4 parking lots. I'm exaggerating because one of them is really tiny, but 4 parking lots. You can have the parking and have something on top of them that pays taxes. City that's broke. Taxes. Now, what would I like? I would like us in the new year, and I'm going to help facilitate, but I'm not going to do it by myself. I want 5 or 6 of us to get together, including some anti-tall building people. I want to get together and talk about where we should go from here. I've been watching this Jane Jacobs style urban question since I came 40 years ago. What should we look like? What should we have built? How do we, a neighbor of mine wrote an email saying, I don't want the Fane Tower, I want a tech company there. Well, first, a little tech company not going to pay those kind of taxes, but never mind, I don't want to argue with him. I'd like a tech company too. But I was involved with a tech company that has a couple hundred employees, and that company's, the vast majority of the employees are from Massachusetts. And all 3 tech companies that I know well here, we don't train. We don't have a whole bunch of high school and college students. Even college students who have what it takes aren't going to stay. Now the environment is changing, but I like a powwow. I'd like us to have a gathering, a discussion. Where do we go from here without people yelling against the developer? Let's say what we would like Providence to look like, and what does that mean? Call me, email me, text me. I'm not that great with Facebook, but try that too. Or just, communicate with GoLocal. Hey, Ray, I'd like to be part of a serious discussion. I, meaning you, would like to take some leadership so that the next time that someone wants to build a high-end dorm that's only 8 stories high, 200 people will not yell no, because we will have agreed in advance that that takes the pressure off the neighborhood by having 50 wealthy students not take housing from middle class or working class people. God bless you during this holiday season.